Who are the top 10 most strongest fairy tale wizard inside the Fairy Tale Guild?
Don't blame me if I break you.
Regret your arrogance when I'm through with you!
What is going on, my fairy fans? Welcome to this week's episode of Fairy Tale Discussion, where we do what is discussion and top 10 discussion on the fairy tale. What is going on, my fairy fans? Today's discussion is going to be a little different discussion. It's going to be a rank discussion. The top 10 strongest fairy tale wizard inside the Fairy Tale Guild. Now, when I say Fairy Tale Guild, I actually mean the guild, not everyone else. It's not going to be an overall Fairy Tale character rank. This is just the Fairy Tale Guild rank. And the reason why I'm making this video is because right now Fairy Tale's at an arc called the Elver's arc, and I believe that this might be the final arc. Hopefully I'm wrong, but yes, this might be the final arc. And I just want to make a video discussing who are the top 10 strongest Fairy Tale wizards. And then, once when Fairy Tale's done, we're going to come back and revisit this list, and we're going to decide who is the strongest by the legit ranks. Right now this is opinion rank, so every rank that you're going to see inside the list is all based on opinion, because I'm going to be ranking these characters based on the manga, from what we've seen from our point of view inside the manga, who deserves to be in what places for now. So at the end of the discussion, I'd like for you guys to share with me your list and what you guys think about this rank. So everybody, let's get right to the discussion. We got Wendy Marvel. This girl definitely deserves to be known as one of the strongest Fairy Tale wizards. Wendy deserved that spot once when she fought Eels inside the Tutter's arc. When Wendy used her Dragon Force, she transformed to a badass Wendy. I'm just like, damn Wendy, way to go! You finally did it, girl. Thumbs up for her. And the way she fought Eels was just epic. I really enjoyed Wendy's Dragon Force, and that was one of the best moments inside Fairy Tale when Wendy transformed to her Dragon Force. And not to mention, she is a dragon slayer. Now the reason why Wendy is right now low in this list is because we don't know her strength yet. Everybody went to a 1 year gap, but we haven't seen Wendy's power. She hasn't shown anything yet what she's been through the 1 year gap, what her training paid off. It's the reason why I put her right now number 10. But hopefully at the end of the series, Wendy will go higher. Juvia Lockhart. Now, same thing with Juvia case. She is this awesome wizard made out of water. You try to attack her, it'll go right through her. And this girl is an awesome fighter. She has very skillful. But in the 1 year gap, we haven't seen no new strength of Juvia. She hasn't shown anything yet. So we don't know how strong Juvia really is. But she is still definitely known as one of the top 10 strongest Fairy Tale wizard. It's the reason why she's number 9. Lucy Heartfilia. Yes, people, believe it or not, Lucy has improved in a 1 year gap. And she just showed a little glimpse of her power. And yet she's already awesome. Lucy has managed to update herself and get stronger to the point when she uses her Celestial Spirit, she could even wear their clothes. It's like a equipped power. At the same time, she summons out her spirit. And not to mention, she has one of the strongest Celestial Spirit there, and that is Loki. Mirajane Strauss. This girl has a she-devil inside her, and we all know Mirajane, when she transforms to a she-devil form, she is just a badass, and she really knows how to fight. Not to mention, she is a S-class wizard already. But so far in the 1 year training gap, we haven't seen what she really accomplished, but what we did see is that she managed to do a takeover on one of the Tetris members named Celia. And Mirajane is a very skillful fighter, and she was always a really strong wizard before the 1 year gap, so she deserves to be inside this list and inside this spot. But who knows, right now we haven't seen much of Mira's strength either, but hopefully later on when the manga progresses, we'll get to find out how strong Mirajane really is. Gajeel Redfox. He is another badass dragon slayer. Gajeel was always strong. He always has some awesome determination to protect his friend, and he's always ready to fight any opponent. Now when it comes to Gajeel, he fought alongside with Natsu and Wendy, but he claimed that he wasn't really trying, which probably be a joke, but who knows. But from my point of view, I rank him at this spot because Gajeel is a strong wizard. Hopefully by the end of the series, he might be higher in this list. Who knows? We just have to wait and see.
This was the very first picnic of my life! Requit! Thunder Empress armor! Say your prayer!
My girl, Erza Scarlet. She definitely deserves to be in the top 5 strongest Fairy Tale wizards. She is by far the most strongest female character inside Fairy Tale and the badass character overall. And Erza Scarlet has definitely earned that spot. She's been always known as the most strongest wizard inside Fairy Tale, but then later on as the arc progresses, other characters manage to get up there too. Now that we're inside the Elver's arc, so far in the 1 year gap, we've seen that Erza managed to have 2 new recruits and she managed to get even stronger. But she hasn't ever fought to her fullest yet. It's the reason why she's ranked number 5. Once we see how strong Erza really is, we could determine her rank and probably make her go higher. But for now, she's going to be known as number 5. Gray Fullbuster. I believe that Gray has achieved a lot in the 1 year gap. He is not one of those people who sat around and just chilled. He's like the rest of the top 5 people on my list. They've spent hard time training so they could be stronger in the 1 year gap. And he has the same determination as everyone else when it comes to protecting their friends. And Gray also claims that he has a secret weapon hidden up his sleeve for END. So let's see how much Gray has progressed. They have shown a couple stuff of what Gray has achieved in this 1 year gap, but from my point of view, he deserves to be this spot. Maybe he might go higher at the end of Fairy Tail. We'll have to wait and see. Laxus Jura. This man is definitely one known as the strongest Fairy Tail wizard. He was always known to be one of the strongest, and yet again, he's right now in rank number 3. Now the reason why I put Laxus in rank number 3 is because we haven't seen nothing of Laxus. All we see after the 1 year gap is that he's managed to thundershot Gajeel, and then from there that's it. He hasn't come back to fight. So with that judgment on his head and with this type of time, right now Laxus deserves to be number 3. He is still stronger than the other character I listed, and you could definitely count on Laxus to have your back and to be able to fight any strong opponent when it comes down to it. He was always an intimidating opponent, and he always tries to get stronger. He made a vow to himself that after the Tuttress arc that no matter what happened, he's gonna go and become stronger so he could protect his friends and his loved ones and even a guild. So let's see how much Laxus has progressed, and hopefully later on in the manga we'll see Laxus' true strength.
The sharks are getting hungry, are they? Well then I'm gonna grill something up real good for them! Fire Dragon! Fire Dragon Wing Attack!
Natsu Dragneel. Now honestly guys, I think Natsu deserves this spot. He is right now, he has more than enough proven that he is the strongest wizard right now inside the Fairy Tail Guild, and this guy definitely deserves this spot. He went through a tough time in his 1 year training gap. The reason why Natsu left was because after his fight inside the Tuttress, he felt that, you know what, this is bad. My dad died and everything. I'm going to be much stronger so I could kill Acnologia and Zerov and end this big war. And so far what we've seen, Natsu has really paid off. He managed to do a one-shot to a god. He managed to do a one-shot to Blue Note Stinger. And not to mention, he has matured a lot. His mind has become much more mature. He learned to control and only use little amount of energy so that he could save more energy for other fights. So that's one thing good right there. We've seen that Natsu did some nice mind training, but we haven't seen his full power. And according to Natsu, he says that he has a secret weapon hidden up his sleeve in his arm. And he hasn't told what that secret weapon is. He said this weapon is for Zerov. I'm gonna use it against Zerov, so leave Zerov to me. I'll be the one to beat Zerov. That was his claim, and so far what we learned, Natsu hasn't really shown much of his full strength. All that one shot that he did, he was just pretty much warming up, according to Natsu. So when it comes down to it, we're gonna really see how strong Natsu has gotten. But until then, I rank him number 2 because we already know who's the OP, aka overpowered character inside Fairy Tail, and that still is...
Now go! If you really want to fly, I can help you out. Crushing evil, spreading truth! Imperious!
Gildarts Clive. This man is always going to be number 1 right now because we haven't seen none of Gildart. We don't know where he is. So far inside the manga, he hasn't appeared once, but I know for a fact he will appear because Fairy Tail is going all out war with Zerov, and Gildart's definitely going to be there to support them. But according to from what we've seen in the previous, Gildart has always been the strongest wizard inside of Fairy Tail. He was always the number 1 strongest. No one was able to come near his level. And now that he went to a 1 year gap, he didn't go around just play around and chill with girls. Gildart actually does both. He chills and he does a lot of training. After all, he is Natsu's mentor. And this guy is overpowered character. And I feel that right now Gildart is still the number 1 strongest character inside Fairy Tail. But once when Gildart shows himself and he shows how strong he's gotten and how strong Natsu has gotten, then we could really judge who is stronger. Has Natsu finally achieved that goal to be stronger than Gildarts, or is Gildart still always going to be number 1? Is Hero going to make Gildart be like the number 1 strongest character inside Fairy Tail, or is that spot going to go to Natsu? We just have to wait and see who gets the number 1 strongest spot, but right now, from our point of view, we still believe that Gildart is the strongest character inside Fairy Tail, and let's see if that changes. But this is my top 10 strongest Fairy Tail characters inside the Fairy Tail Guild. And like I said, this is a 2015 rank, so once when Fairy Tail ends, be sure that we're gonna come and revisit this list, but this time with actual proof and better rank to see who deserves to be in what spot. And so far, from what we've seen, all these characters I listed, they got that rank because they haven't shown much of their power, and we don't know how strong they really are. But once we find out how strong these characters are, we'll definitely do a rearrange to their list, and we'll definitely make them go higher. I personally believe that at the end of Fairy Tail, Natsu Dragneel is going to be the strongest. I believe he will finally surpass Gildarts, and that Gildarts is going to pass the torch to Natsu, the strongest man inside Fairy Tail Guild. After all, he is Natsu Dragneel. He never gives up, and he always has a way to win. So we just have to wait and see who will be the strongest. That is my list, people. Let me know your thoughts on this, and let me know what is your guys' top 10 list, or even your top 5. And let me know who you guys think should be where. If there's anything you guys like about this video or what we have to talk about, please drop me a like. That would be amazing. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. I'll really appreciate it. I'm Goku T23. Have an insane day, people.
Bolt weapon deployed! No blood! After I finish beating you, you'll never interfere with us again. You understand?
Damn you! You don't have nearly enough power to ever make that happen. Bankai, Senbon Sakura, Kageoshi.
Purgatory armor requip complete! You'll regret your arrogance when I'm through with you! No one who's seen